SAITAMA vs Ichigo is a debate I've been seeing pretty often over the past few days. And most of these debates stem from the most recent chapter of One Punch Man, in which Empty Void, the newest and arguably the most powerful god avatar, enters a dimension in which he can view all the parallel worlds of One Punch Man. However, today I'm here to finally shut down these stupid debates for good, or at least until the next One Punch Man upscale, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Starting off with Saitama. In his battle with Garo, which was 3 years ago by the way, he was able to erase multiple stars and galaxies with a serious punch. Although you can say that he only contributed half of this feat, this is still galaxy level. However, this becomes irrelevant as we are shown a graph of Saitama and Garo's growth, in which we see that Garo, the weaker of the two, was multiple one-shot tiers above the serious punch squared, meaning he is comfortably multi-galactic level. And Saitama was multiple one-shot tiers above this, meaning the highest you can wank Saitama is universal, and I'm gonna be wanking him in this video. By the end of their fight, Saitama goes back in time and ends the fight before it even began. However, after taking that punch, Garo's immense power is stolen by Empty Void, the most recently introduced god avatar, meaning Empty Void bare minimum is multi-galactic. When it comes to speed, Saitama is consistently shown to be FTL+, as he was able to easily keep up with Flashy Flash, who in a later fight was moving so fast that he, along with Platinum S and Monster Garo, were able to form a super dense constellation-like structure. However, Saitama blows his speed out of the water as he was able to catch up to Garo in mere moments after he was sent to the sun, putting his speed at MFTL+ speed. And the craziest part of this was that he did this with a fart. So in conclusion, if I'm wanking Saitama, he scales to universal with MFTL speeds. But how does this stack up against Ichigo and Bleach in general? Before I can tackle how strong Ichigo really is, I'll first have to cover the cosmology of the Bleach universe, starting off with the Garganta. The Garganta is stated to be an infinite black cavity, therefore making it infinite. This Japanese version uses the kanji for infinite, not endless, making the Garganta universal, bare minimum. The Garganta is also described as a void of turbulent reishi that features many random dimensions called Kyogyoku. I don't know how to pronounce that word, sorry. The Garganta doesn't contain any stars, meaning that it's not outer space. The Garganta has its own space-time, as the time flows differently than in the real world, meaning the Garganta itself is 4D. The Garganta is an infinite realm which holds all the realms, as it's stated here, making it 4 to 5D. The world of the living is the real universe of Bleach verse, as galaxies, planets, and outer space are confirmed to exist in this dimension. The world of the living is basically based off our own universe. As in the novels, many celestial bodies such as Mars are said to exist. Mugen in both the anime and the manga is stated to be infinitely vast in size. However, some panels say it's almost infinite, which is just a mistranslation. Unohana even says that the Mugen, which sounds like Mugen, the Japanese word for infinity, is exactly what it sounds like, solidifying the fact that the Mugen is infinite. And the fact that it is located in the Soul Society means that the Soul Society itself is infinite in size, which is consistent as the Soul Society is stated to be parallel to the world of the living, which is a universal size construct and contains celestial bodies like stars, proving that it's universal. The fact is that these two worlds are separate since one represents life and the other represents life after death. If these two existed on the same plane, life and death would not be separated. In addition to that, the Dangai, which has its own separate time, and the Garganta existing between worlds, contradicts the fact that the world of the living and the Soul Society exist in the same universe, making each of them separate universes. Not to mention, there are also a countless number of Dangai, or severed worlds, which are space-time continuums, making them H-universal. There are also other worlds besides the world of the living and the Soul Society, as between each of them is a hyperspace called a disconnected boundary, which prevents these worlds from coming into contact with each other. Since Hueco Mundo is one of the three main worlds, it is also infinite in size, and this is stated on multiple occasions. This is supported by the fact that Tokinara states that there is a ceaseless supply of reishi in Hueco Mundo. So, in conclusion, saying that the three dimensions are planet-sized due to them being referred to as worlds is completely wrong. Now we can finally start getting into Ichigo's scaling. Ichigo in the Soul Society arc is able to stop the Sokyoku, which is stated as being able to destroy the entire Soul Society, and Ichigo in Shikai alone was able to stop this. Later on, Bankai Ichigo loses to base Ulquiorra, meaning base Ulquiorra is 10 times stronger than the Ichigo who was able to stop a universal attack. And Bankai Hollow Mask Ichigo, who is 100 times stronger than that universal feat, was still losing to first release Ulquiorra. Second release Ulquiorra is easily 10 times stronger than his first release, as these releases are equivalent to Bankai's. And Vasto Lorde Ichigo was able to dog walk this Ulquiorra, putting Ichigo bare minimum 2 times stronger than second release Ulquiorra. However, this doesn't matter as Aizen is stated to be stronger than any and all of the Espada in his base form alone. And during the time that Ichigo was training in the Dangai, Aizen goes through 3 Bankai-like power-ups. However, when Dangai Ichigo arrives, he easily overwhelms Aizen, forcing him to go through another transformation, putting him on a level, if not beyond the level of Ichibei, and Dangai Ichigo was still scaring the hell out of him. Not to mention, final Getsuga Tensho Ichigo is able to one-shot this Aizen. This is already hundreds of thousands of times stronger than the universal Black Ichigo performed. I don't have time to cover everything between this fight and the final battle, as Yuhava is shown to be stronger than Aizen, who, according to Kisuke, was much stronger than when he fought Ichigo. And Horn of Salvation Ichigo was able to kill Almighty Yuhava twice, meaning Ichigo in his final form, which is Horn of Salvation Ichigo, is relative to Almighty Yuhava, who is many times stronger than the Yuhava who beat Aizen. This puts Ichigo easily in the multiversal tier. As for speed, Ichigo is massively faster than light, but he is into layers into it. If you take the Helver's feat into account of the Zero covering an infinite distance in mere moments, then Ichigo at his strongest has infinite speed. But either way, he is still beyond anything Saitama can do. So how would this fight go? Here's a little scenario I cooked up. Hollows have been disappearing, and the Soul Society was getting concerned at the rate that they were being killed. They decide to send Ichigo to investigate this matter, and he heads off to Z City. Arriving in Z City, Ichigo bears witness to Saitama one-punching Hollows left and right. When Saitama sees Ichigo floating in the air, he assumes that he is also one of the invisible people who leads these Hollows, and he asks him what he is. Ichigo introduces himself as a Soul Reaper, and tells Saitama to stop. The pressure Saitama feels from Ichigo is the same as the Hollows, so Saitama decides to attack Ichigo with consecutive normal punches. He is surprised to see that Ichigo is able to dodge each and every single one of them. He gets a bit excited as he increases the speed and power of his punches. Ichigo pulls out his Zanpakuto and fires a Getsuga Tensho, sending Saitama flying for the first time ever since he broke his limit. Saitama bleeds. This gets him super excited, and Saitama decides to get serious. He, for the first time since Garo, throws a genuine serious punch. This punch is blocked by Ichigo as he goes Bankai and slashes Saitama multiple times, leaving him bleeding all over. He finishes him off with a Getsuga Tensho, ending this fight in a few moments. Saitama is taken into custody as Ichigo goes back to Kurakura town with a fat W. Ichigo wins. This was the first of the many videos I'll be making this month. If you don't want to miss any of them, be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one.